Hello, we're on Chapter 3, Lesson 5. Our essential question, how are multiplication and division related? We're going to talk about the multiplication properties and the division rules. And you'll notice that some of these properties and rules are very similar to what we talked about in Chapter 2, Lesson 1, when we were doing the same thing for addition properties and subtraction rules. So you'll notice some similarities between the addition properties and the multiplication properties, as well as the subtraction rules and the division rules. First example, the table shows Jenny's and Cliff's chores. Jenny earns $3 each chore and Cliff earns $2 for each chore. How much does each person earn for completing chores? So Jenny is over here. She has 2 chores to complete. She gets $3 per chore for a total of $6. Cliff has 3 chores. He gets $2 for each. So his total, 3 times 2, is 6. So each person earns $6. The order in which the factors are multiplied does not change the product, which is the commutative property of multiplication, very similar to the commutative property of addition. So whichever order the numbers are in does not matter in order to get the same answer, the same product. The addition property was also called commutative. Oh, fact family, that's what I was going to say. When we do fact families, when we have 2 different factors, your numbers will be, the different numbers will make 2 different equations for your fact family. Okay, and identity property of multiplication. Remember I talked about the identity property of addition, and I said you're adding 0, and some people called it the 0 property. But you'll notice that's going to get confusing with us because we have a 0 property of multiplication and an identity property of multiplication. So when any number is multiplied by 1, the product is that number. Because basically what this sentence is saying in word form is 4 one time. And if you have 4 one time, you have 4. If I have 4 dots, and I only have it one time, I have 4 dots. So that's why 4 times 1 is 4, or any number times 1 is the same number. Now, the 0 property of multiplication is when any number is multiplied by 0, the product is 0. So 3 times 0, 0. 184 times 0, 0. 1,693 times 0, 0. So this is the purple box that you might want to mark. These properties are going to come in handy. We're going to talk about these a lot this year. So make sure you're able to remember these, the terms for these properties. It's just something to keep practicing. On page 162, the following rules can help you with division. Here's another purple box with some key concepts, division rules. Zeros in division. When you divide 0 by any non-zero number, the quotient is 0. It is not possible to divide a number by 0. So 0 divided by 5 is 0. 0 divided by 5,621, 0. Ones in division. When you divide any number by 1, the quotient is always the dividend. So the first number will be the answer. The dividend will be the quotient. When you divide any non-zero number by itself, the quotient is always 1. 4 divided by 4 is going to be 1. 6,021 divided by 6,021 is going to be 1. Example 2. There are 9 party favors and 9 guests. How many party favors will each guest get? Complete the number sentence. How many party favors? It says in the problem, there are 9 party favors. How many guests? 9 guests. What do I need to find? How many party favors will each guest get? 9 divided into 9 groups. You will have 1 in each group. A non-zero number divided by the same number is 1. So each guest will get 1 party favor. And you can talk with your partner. Explain why the identity property of multiplication uses 1, while the identity property of addition uses 0. See if you can talk about that with your partner. And don't forget, when you're doing your guided practice and your independent work, those word problems are very important. So make sure you get to the last page and make sure you read these. Highlight or underline your important facts that you need, and mark the question so you make sure that you're answering the question when you finish your work.